Hare Krishna. Maharaj, you mentioned in the class about time factor. Prabhupada makes it so clear that you forgot the time, but time didn't forget you. And you speaking about the test also. Specifically in India, from last 6 months, the new government has come. And due to this new government which has come, the people over here are becoming prosperous, or they have a dream that they will be becoming very prosperous in India. The economical development, the GDP growth and everything is improving right now in India. The inflation is also going down.
What's going down?
Inflation is also going down. The GDP growth is also improved.
These are all indicators of real human progress, right? Go on.
So now what the people are feeling it is, the future of India is going to become very bright because the new government is there, and this government has got a stable members in the parliament. So this government is having a stability, and they will be taking a very bold decision. And due to that bold decision, the prosperity of India will be very bright in due course of time. My question to you, Maharaj, is that definitely it could be or it could not be, we don't know. But the scriptures are very clear that time is not going to change. The time is going to kill on us, and one day or the other we have to leave this body. At the same time, it could be a test of Krishna to make us diverted from away from Krishna consciousness and more getting attracted to those things. So how in this environment, when everything is looking very bright outside, we don't compromise our Krishna consciousness and we become very focused and see that our business has been done in this lifetime?
One thing is, you have to understand the way the world is functioning. There may be more wealth available in India, but who's going to get it? The fool thinks, the GDP is increasing, inflation's going down, there'll be more money for everyone. There'll be more money, mainly for those who already have money. That's the way the world is working now. The inequality of wealth is such a major issue in the world today. And who is the foremost acharya for inequality of wealth? The USA. And everyone is following that path. Mahajana Yena Kata. So it may be true that temporarily, due to a government that's less corrupt and more efficient, there may be some bubbling of wealth. It may be true, but that doesn't mean that the average person is going to get it. In any case, all I know is that I've heard that is it true? Your glorious Prime Minister went to Japan and presented Bhagavad Gita as it is. We offer all respects. He is the best among men. Just like I mentioned to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, as far as American politicians, the current president, his campaigning motto was, change we can believe in. Now everyone sees there was no change. The only change we can believe in is Dehi knows So that was his campaign motto. Everyone was so hopeful in 2008. Change we can believe in. Yes, you can. Yes, you can make a difference. Now, students in the USA were telling me how they've lost hope in any kind of political solution. Still, this president is the best amongst men. Why? He embraced the Vaishnav. He's the best. We have a different standard. You give Bhagavad Gita as it is to the leader of Japan, or you embrace a Vaishnava, you are the best. Okay?
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, the decisions and the steps which the Prime Minister of India is taking, no doubt he is a spiritual minded man. He is giving Bhagavad Gita. He speaks about philosophy of Krishna consciousness. He controls his senses. Although he went to US, he didn't took anything except water because he was on fasting. At the same time, some schemes which he took it out. He recently, before 2 months back, he opened the accounts, all those people who didn't have accounts in India, all poor people, bank account. He made it open. 5 crore accounts have been opened for poor people in bank account. And this bank's accounts has been opened, and he will like to do all the benefits he would like to do through the banking system, and it will go directly to the old poor people itself. So all these systems which he is showing it makes little bit believe that the days are good. In that circumstances, I have a fear that we might not compromise our Krishna consciousness and get carried away with this.
If he can come to Radha Gopinath Mandir and he can meet with the devotees here, that will be extraordinary. So why not try to do that? Politics means politics. Don't harass a politician for being a politician. A politician is going to make politics. A capitalist is going to make money. You just try to connect it to benefit so that people can become Krishna conscious. So don't have, kind of like a high and mighty attitude. Ooh, he's making politics. Of course he's making politics. Just like the president of the USA, in his presidential campaign in 2008. Change you can believe in. The days of business as usual in Washington, D.C. are over. This is his campaign talk. He's being a politician. But what can he do in terms of helping the spreading of bhakti? That is our standard for measuring. That's our GDP. They'll talk so many other things. Let them talk. The opening of the big temple in Delhi, the prime minister at that time, he came, right? So this is glorious. Meanwhile, for actual substantial programs for upliftment, I've heard so many exciting things going on amongst the brahmacharis here. The village outreach, helping people in terms of food, helping them in terms of medical care, helping them in terms of learning, helping them in terms of business opportunities, and giving them the crest jewel of Krishna Bhakti. So, someone wants a complete solution, don't expect it from a politician. Have them come here and see what's going on. How you're offering solutions on all levels without forgetting what is the real medicine. Otherwise, what should I do? If I'm sick and I go to Bhaktivedanta Hospital and the doctors there help me, and then as I'm leaving I say, well, anyway, it doesn't really matter because I'm not the body. It's true I'm not the body. But they have helped in terms of the temporary body, which is trying to engage in Krishna's service. So we appreciate help on all levels, while at the same time understanding what is the real help. So in order to dramatize this point, sometimes acharyas And Prabhupada was so powerful in this way, they will just kick away. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was also like that. They would kick away any semblance of material help to dramatize the point that the only real solution is bhakti. Then again, sometimes, you know, in the last years, Prabhupada would say that we want to help people on all levels. So you have to be able to see this situation in a mature way. So if politicians can help the spreading of bhakti, they are the best. Politicians will talk. They'll make politics. They'll say things. They'll break their promises. It's all part of being a politician. Don't hold that against them. What do you expect? Prithu Maharaj? So I am very impressed by the way you all are approaching the situation in terms of the Govardhan Echo Project and the village outreach, and of course the college outreach has been going on for ages. And I don't see that anyone has forgotten what is the real medicine, what is the ultimate goal of life. I was speaking in Mayapur about, it's the final point, something Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did in Mayapur Dham. He had a huge fair or exposition, and it covered a huge amount of area, and it had the wonder of electricity, which in the beginning of the 20th century in Mayapur, electricity was like a miracle. But he had his whole exposition grounds covering a massive area. It was all lit up by electricity. And he invited all the spiritual groups, all the sadhus to come. And he invited all the top mundane scholars to come. And everyone could have their exhibit. Mundane scholars could give lectures on their field of expertise. Sadhus from this group, that group could speak. There are even exhibits of relics or remnants of sadhus from here, sadhus from there. Music of all different types. And of course, the Gaudiya Math was there. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciples were there, giving knowledge as it is. So yes, if you have a strong core of devotees, you can do many bold things. And certainly what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did was extraordinarily bold. He wasn't afraid that his devotees would get bewildered. All right, bring all the sadhus, bring all the mundane experts, let them talk. They can talk at our exposition, but we will be there, and we are, in other words, we are so expert, we are so focused, we will prevail. That was very interesting. All right, so I thank you again for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.